Hey guys, what's up? So recently I was on Student Doctor Network and I was looking at different opportunities out there. And one of the interesting forums that popped up was, is a Pharmd MD worth it? I did some research about it, but I just want to give you my quick thoughts about it. Rutgers, their Ernesto Pharmacy School, and I believe the James Wood Medical School. Both schools are at Rutgers, from what I understand. But basically, they have this program where it's a total of 10 years. Get this, 10 years. It's a wicked long time. This is usually straight from high school. So high school students will apply to this program into the pharmacy school, and then the pharmacy. I think during your P3 year. You actually apply P2 or P3 year, you actually apply to the medical school program. And in my head, I was like, why the hell would anyone want to do this? I think one of the major advantages with the Pharmd program is that we get out a lot sooner, we can start generating money a lot quicker, and plus we have a lot of peace of mind. But when you're in med school, it's a very, very long track, and honestly I think it takes away from a lot of the benefits. So from doing a Pharmd program. Anyways, and plus it's also important to know that, Pharmd program focus is very different from being a doctor. A lot of the time doctors, I would say, have a broader spec of stuff. We're sort of us pharmacists, we're more like the specialists with medications and stuff like that. That's a huge difference. Of course doctors need to know about their medications, but they're compared to the amount of pharmacology and therapeutics we have versus them, we spend a lot of time. I'm not saying that doctors or pharmacists know more, but it's the fact that we spend a lot more time focusing on medication because that's our specialty, right? Anyways, I want to break this down into 3 categories. So cost, job career opportunities, and also satisfaction. And so here's the thing. When it comes to costs, I was trying to look up the tuition amounts for a Pharmd MD program, but they do a fucking good job of hiding it. Let's say that, it's $50,000 each year. Is it worth the extra $200,000 investing into a Pharmd program? You're almost in at, let's say if you spend $50,000, by the end of the program, that's almost $500,000, And is it worth it at that point? And to me, honestly, it's gonna vary for everyone. Some people, money is not a problem, but that's a huge amount of debt burden that you're putting on yourself. And which leads me to my next point. You are spending a lot of time in school, not generating any income, where if you were just a regular Pharmd student and you were actively working, you can invest that money and make that money grow. So if you're in it for just the money, I don't really think it's worth it. But anyways, which leads me to the next point, job careers and stuff. And I was actually looking at this, I don't know, they did this it's like a poster type of thing. It was just talking, and it's hella biased because it is from Rutgers and stuff like that. Because I want to, in order to understand this a little better, I really wanted to get in the mindset. Dude, how are you going to sell this program to future students? And sometimes you just need to get in the head of it. And some of the things that they said was opportunities. And I was reading it and they're like, interdisciplinary education, collaborate a lot easier with dual degree, which I sort of disagree. I think if you have good communication skills, you can work with people, and I don't think having a Pharmd MD is actually needed for that, right? And then they're saying continuing clinical pharmacy practice experience, which they say increases customization of advanced pharmacy practice experiential rotations during 4th year Pharmd, allowing candidates to create personalized career-oriented clinical experiences. Opportunities to participate in clinical pharmacy experiences during the MD curriculum would aid maintaining pharmacy knowledge, which honestly is just a whole lot of kind of bullshit in my mind. Classroom contribution, they're saying that it would allow opportunities to teach in the curriculum, in the pharmacy or medical curriculum, which, I do agree. I think for academia and stuff, it would probably look really good. And especially if you're I don't know, doing maybe infectious disease or something like that, you can definitely collaborate on a lot of these different projects, and they said that it's really needed in the pharmaceutical industry. And that's what I tend to find a lot, is that like things like FDA, you're shooting for a director position, or if you're trying to go into industry, the more letters that you have after your name, the more sought out you're looked at. And it's probably due to credibility factors. It's an easier way. A lot of time on my channel, I talk about do interesting projects, do interesting work, and that serves as a credibility factor. But sometimes it's just easy to be like, oh, Kevin Yee, and then you have the whole alphabet after your name, right? It's a lot easier to see that and be like, wow, this guy is pretty accomplished. It says a lot having all these things, right? But I think like pharmacy wise, I don't think it really pays off, you know, because with if you're trying to go into business, why not get a Pharmd MBA or get a MD MBA or something like that? I think that would be a lot more useful, right? I was just thinking like, okay, you know what? There are people that do Pharmd MD programs, right? It's maybe not completely useless. Like maybe I'm just hella biased. And I found this one dude. I just found him on LinkedIn. He's public. Like I typed in Pharmd MD. This guy pops up. He did his RN, Pharmd, and MD, and it's crazy. He also did like with his Pharmd, he did like residency as well. So I was like, holy shit, this guy has a big D, man. And I was looking at his kind of experience, like where he's worked and stuff. And right now he's a clinical assistant professor at Southwestern. He's an attending physician at this Parkland hospital. He's a CEO at Med Reviews. So he's doing a lot of different projects and stuff, which is really cool. I think honestly, if you want to do all those things, it's just much easier to just collaborate with people, you know? I understand the professional like white coat world is very different from the entrepreneurship world, but I really do think that having so many things like kind of, although it kind of increases your perspective, I feel like there's a certain skill of doing really deep work and having a deep specialty in something, you know? And the more people that you can talk to, maybe it'll get a little more noisy. But at the same time, I think that it's useful having different insight and stuff. And when you're the pharmacist, nurse, and doctor, right? Sometimes you lose sight, you know? I feel like for some reason, my friend Ryan would end up being one of these people.
What's up, YouTubers?
Because he did his PGY1, PGY2, board certified, and he's doing an MPH, man. So if you haven't checked out his channel, check it out.
Picture of my PGY1 co-residence. This is my second year co-residence. Pharmacy licenses. My BCPS certificate. That's a horrible picture.
Those are some of the things I was thinking. I really want to do more in-depth research of this topic because I feel like, you know, a lot of people, maybe you're not in a Pharmd MD program, but I do think that it is important to have a goal in mind if you're gonna go this route, you know? I think also if you got money to blow and shit, you might have a better advantage of getting into a medical school if you do this Pharmd MD program, because they don't, like with Rutgers, they only take, from what I read, they only take the people that are actually in the Pharmd program. Maybe if you're in pharmacy school, you don't like pharmacy, but you know, you feel like if you drop out, it's a waste for everything. Well, at least you can keep your Pharmd and MD, right? And try to save on time, I guess, you know? A lot of the people that have these multi disciplines under their name, they're deans, they're directors, they're CEOs and stuff, and they're like the top people. Anyways, guys, I was thinking about doing a more in-depth video in the future, but let me ask you this. Those pharmacy people, have you ever considered doing a Pharmd MD program? And have you ever heard of an MD going back to pharmacy school? I think that's very interesting, and I just don't think it's worth all that work, to be honest with you. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like my content, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace, guys.